Well, over to Marietta now. There are a few road closures that we do want to make you aware of. So Lancaster Street Hill in Marietta is currently shut down and will remain shut down through the weekend. Marietta City crews were notified on Wednesday of a sewer backup and sanitary sewer running down the street. A sanitary sewer line had collapsed, and after further evaluation, crews found the same line has collapsed in multiple different places. Crews will be working through the weekend to have the work repaired by Monday. And on Monday, crews hope to repave the hill and open it back up to public traffic.
Lancaster Street Hill, as you can tell, is fully closed down due to the equipment, and we're digging across both lanes. There are two other streets that they can utilize. One is Pearl Street Extension, and then also Slaughterhouse Hill up to 676.
And a little further down the street, Maple Street Extension is also closed due to a slip repair. It's been closed for roughly 6 months.
We're down to about 2/3, so they've drilled soil nails back into the rock. But there's a section of area that we found a lot of voids underneath, so they pumped all that through full of grout. And then now they're going back through and they're going to drill through that and anchor the wall. And then once they build the wall, they'll shotcrete all that, stabilize everything.
And after that is complete, the goal is to reopen the road in 2 weeks. Crews will add new guardrails and a curb to the area as well.